Okay. Today's sermon is also entitled The Interdependent Web Embracing the Mess, to be delivered by Darcey Lober. Darcey Lober, I hope, am I saying that right? Yeah. Okay, is a former lay minister from Chalice Fellowship of the Conejo Valley. She is a longtime Unitarian Universalist, environmental and social justice advocate, lay minister, and my favorite, goddess priestess, who loves to sing, dance, garden, and most of all, share the fruits of those labors with others. Darcey.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a pleasure, and I'm very grateful to be here, allowed once again into your pulpit to share some of my thoughts, my stories, and my songs. This song I'd like to teach you is by Heather Houston, and the theme is rewilding the soul. And we'll do it as a call and response, so I can teach it to you, and then we can sing it all together. So repeat after me. Oh, river, rewild my soul. Oh, river, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to flow with ease again, how to flow with ease again. I am ready, take me in. I am ready, take me in. Let's do that all together. Oh, river, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to flow with ease again. I am ready, take me in. Next verse. Oh, mountain, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to lift mine eyes again. I am ready, take me in. Oh, sunshine, oh, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to fly so free again. I am ready, take me in. Oh, vast sky, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to be spaciousness again. I am ready, take me in. Oh, soft wind, rewound my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to be clear and cleansed again. I am ready. Take me in. Oh, forest, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to trust this path again. I am ready. Take me in. Oh, sunshine, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to shine with warmth again. I am ready. Take me in. Oh, mama, rewild my soul. Help me let go of control. Show my heart how to beat with yours again. I am ready. Take me in again. I am ready. I am ready. Take me in last time. I'm ready. I am ready. Take me in. Thank you. Once upon a time, a newly called preacher stood in my congregation's pulpit to tell us how he came to be one. He recounted how his spiritual life began when, under the influence of psychedelics, he and a friend went to the dump and started worshiping the garbage. The trash, he said, can you imagine? And everyone laughed, right? But me, I thought to myself, well, we better start worshiping our trash, or we're going to end up being buried in it. 30 years later now, it's obvious to even the casual observer that we are in big trouble. We're all witnessing firsthand in this now worldwide cash economy how looking at the riches our earth provides simply as resources to be used until they are all used up in pursuit of our own individual livelihoods and enrichment has this planet on the brink of catastrophic extinctions, and we humans swimming in the trash of our own designs. Concerned scientists and environmental activists have been sending out their clarion call for years now, and everyone knows we need our trees to breathe, but the Amazonian rainforest is still being cut down for the lumber and to grow more beef. Yes, we are in big trouble, and something needs to change, and quick. And I think it is perhaps first and foremost what is now our worldwide attitude. In her new book, Braiding Sweetgrass, biologist Robin Kinnear tells us that the native North Americans have a different take. They see the earth's riches not as resources to be used, but as gifts that have been given to be honored and respected for the benefit of all. According to the Okanagan tribe of upstate New York, In the beginning, there was only dark waters until Sky Woman fell through a hole in the fabric of heaven. Like a dust mote in a shaft of light, she fell, clutching a bundle in her right hand, headed for the dark ocean below. The geese resting on the surface looked up to see her tumbling downward and rose together to catch her and bring her gently down to their ocean home. Now all the other creatures gathered round to look upon her, and recognizing that the geese couldn't support her weight forever, a great turtle floating in the middle of the crowd offered to host her on his back. And so she stepped upon him and settled herself there. But the animals felt this woman needed more. And they had heard stories about mud at the bottom of the ocean and were determined to retrieve some for her. The loon dove first, but it was way too far down, and it returned empty-handed. So went one animal after the other. The seal, the sturgeon, all returned empty-handed. And some didn't return at all, until at last it was the little muskrat's turn. Perhaps the weakest swimmer of them all. He bravely dove down, and the animals waited and waited, until at long last a little string of bubbles arose, and with them the limp body of the little muskrat who gave its life in pursuit. The animals noticed that his fist was clenched tight, and when they opened, they found a little ball of mud. They gave that to Sky Woman, who then took that mud and spread it all over the turtle's back, singing her songs of gratitude. And then she began to dance her dance of gratitude. And with every footfall, the land grew bigger and bigger until it became what is known today as Turtle Island, this land we live on. Now, she hadn't come empty-handed. Like any good guest, she had brought something with her. Before she had fallen through that hole in the fabric of heaven, she had grabbed onto the tree of life and broken off a branch. And in her hand were the seeds of all the trees, the bushes, and the grasses to come. She scattered those seeds all over the new land, and soon a forest grew up, a beautiful garden, so filled with food that some of the animals decided to come up out of the water and live with her on the land. So you see, this garden we live in today in the Native American attitude was formed not by Sky Woman alone, but in reciprocal gratitude for the kindness and the gifts the animals had given her. So in the Native American tradition, when we see the earth and everything she provides as a gift to us all, we are bound in gratitude to reciprocate that gesture with our honor, respect, and caring. The Sky Woman story gives people an understanding that people have a beneficial relationship with each other, and that by caring for the earth and helping to sustain these gifts we're given can allow us to settle into the abundance for thousands of years. Tending respectfully, they learned how controlled burning of the prairies encouraged the grasses the bison loved to feed on to grow and kept the herds abundant. How creating meadow breaks in the mountains of California captured the water and kept the surrounding trees better supplied to withstand droughts. Or how harvesting sweetgrass, a sacred plant on the East Coast, made the stands grow stronger than when the stands were left alone. In the Native tradition, humans are called little brothers, acknowledging the plants and animals who came before us and who may have wisdom to teach us about how to get along and thrive. Let us for a moment contrast that story with our own First Lady Eve, who was cast out of a garden for eating a forbidden fruit, and with the gates clanked shut behind her, is condemned to toil by the sweat of her brow in a wasteland. Just a visitor here, really, biding her time until she can return to her real home up in heaven. For her, the world is not a kind place, and she's not charged with treating it with gratitude and kindness. The plants, the animals, they're to be feared, competed with, or subdued and used. These cosmology stories form the basis of our differing cultures, and they subtly shape the way we see the world and our relationship to it. They give us instructions on how to live, and we Europeans have not been instructed to embrace nature, the chaos, the wildness we find here. In fact, we've turned away wholeheartedly from anything resembling wild as we strive to bring order, control, and dominion over place and people alike. And we've disseminated that attitude worldwide, and now we see where that's gotten us. Sensing the end is nigh and trying to get off this planet. When I read about our scientists' work on the mission to Mars, I acknowledge how wondrous and profound it is that they can even do the math that is getting us there. But at the same time, I can't help but sigh because I know it's that very same military, industrial, complex, technological drive that got us to the brink of this environmental catastrophe here. Using the natural resources we have to create our unnatural environments in which to live seems so out of sync with what could be. It makes me wonder if we really aren't the descendants of some extraterrestrial beings who seeded the asteroids in this universe with their DNA. This is what Francis Crick, the scientist responsible for mapping the double helix structure of our DNA, believed. Well, I just wish if all the scientists of the world could get together to work on healing this planet instead of trying to get off this planet. We would be so much better off. But there are other scientists now who posit that life began right here on Earth in the deep water vents of our oceans, and that the Earth's own structure provided the structure needed for single-cell organisms to come into being. In other words, the Earth herself gave birth to life. We belong to this Earth. We belong to the Earth. We are not in control, and getting off this planet so we can be is not a sustainable solution for extending our lives. So what do we do now? I think we need to try to fashion lifestyles that are sustainable, regenerative, and interdependent. Well, we all know the words, sustainable, regenerative, interdependent. But how do these words really play out in our lives? What do they really mean for us? Interdependent, everything affects everything else. This is truly a complex web of existence. And because we don't really know what we don't know yet, it's often best to just pause and observe before trying to improve upon it. There's a story told about a village in Borneo that had a problem with rats. So the village elders got together with some well-meaning folks and decided to import cats. And the cats did a great job killing the mice and rats. And after they were done with that, they went after the birds. The cats succeeded in decimating the bird population, and within a season, everyone's thatched roofs collapsed. You see, there was a worm eating the thatch that was kept in check by the birds who ate the worm. Yes, this is just one example of the unintended consequences of fixing one problem without understanding and honoring the whole larger set of connections and interconnections and consequences we're still figuring out or coming to acceptance of. I remember myself as a young gardener eager to prove my worth to a client. I disparaged the old gardener's leaving of the branches and the leaves under the sycamore trees. Now, let's get this cleaned up, I said, and the client liked the way that sounded. Only years later did I come to understand that the sycamores, like the avocados, need their leaves to stay underfoot, to stay in place and quietly decompose for the health of the tree and the earth that supports it. And even now, I seem to blunder through my life so often. I came home from a 3-week trip, took one look at my little courtyard patio with all the spider webs and leaves and old bougainvillea petals caught in the trees. I can't have people over with things looking like this, I thought. So I cut back, raked up, threw away bundle after bundle of branches and leaves, intending to fertilize that tangerine tree, my next chore. Only a few days later, I'm watching a video on surviving this drought, and I'm instructed to cut nothing living back, leave the carbon where it is, and for heaven's sakes, don't fertilize, but do mulch, mulch, mulch. In other words, don't do any of the things I had just done and was contemplating doing. It seems all that old wisdom of late season garden cleanup that's taken me 65 years to learn is no good anymore. And instead, we all need to go back to an even older wisdom of allowing the natural processes to work their way through their cycles, to hold on in place all the living nature we can, if there's any hope of making our way through this catastrophic drought. Sustainable, what does that mean? Do the practices I employ keep me healthy and happy? And well, I spend my time growing food. I try to watch what I eat. I go heavy on the dark leafy greens, and I try to grab opportunities for singing and dancing whenever I can. But there's no guarantee. And it's hard because this lifestyle feels perhaps too slow for this century of supersonic travel and high-speed internet. It harkens back to a time and a place and a people whose lifestyles we have denigrated for hundreds of years now. But if I'm to believe what scientists and my own intuition is telling me, it's really the only way to go to be sustainable in my own life. I do not like to change. I am resistant to change. But I know in my heart that I need to adapt to the changing environment I find myself in, to reduce, reuse, recycle, and past that, connect myself up with the people who are doing the work of figuring out more interconnected ways of living that will sustain the health of this planet. I think most of all, to be sustainable, we need to be regenerative. And to be regenerative, we need to embrace the death cycle, the chaos of disintegration at the bottom of everything. In our homes and in our lives, we're often encouraged to only present to the world one part of this cycle, either growing or flowering or maybe fruiting. It's difficult for us to allow for the full maturity, for death and decay to be on display. It's hard because that isn't necessarily pretty, and perhaps we don't want to be reminded of what is imminent for us all. But if we don't wait for the cycle to complete itself, there will always be a dependence on outside energy and resources to keep that cycle going. So if we can embrace the cycle, honoring that in our own lives and in the lives all around us, and reframe our idea of what is beautiful, of what has worth, perhaps we can fashion a lifestyle that's more sustainable, regenerative, and interdependent. And if we can offer up our own bodies to fertilize the earth when our time comes, all the better. If we can let a little wild black back in, spread a little wildness ourselves, and embrace this mess that's part of nature's process, I'm hopeful the earth will regenerate itself for the benefit of all. When we think about what we want to leave to future generations, our houses, money, advancements in science and society alike, it's humbling to think that the most significant thing we might do is to make sure that tree in our front yard survives this drought. Or maybe just plant another. But maybe we don't have a tree in our front yard. Maybe something else calls to our imagination. Maybe we just throw out a handful of wildflower seeds when the rains come. Or maybe we just stop cleaning up. Now, rewilding is going to look different for everyone in every place. But if we can redirect some of the energy we use to make things ordered, neat, and tidy, gather up our resources and turn our homes into dry farmed food forests for all the creatures, we may not stop the war in Ukraine, but we may be able to create a sanctuary, a way station, or perhaps just a place to land, if only for a moment on this blessed earth. So I say, let us embrace the example of Sky Woman and scatter our seeds of gratitude wherever we go, knowing there's always a chance one of our ideas just might take root in the world to be. Let us plant our seeds for the future generations so we might turn a country of immigrants into an indigenous people, committed to sustainable, regenerative practices in the spaces we occupy. And let us not insist on occupying every space or allowing only spaces we deem useful to us to survive intact. Let us honor instead the intrinsic value of a place simply being. Let us see if we can give back to nature pieces of the land we have claimed to have dominion over for so long. To worship, at its root, is to look for the worth in a thing. So I say, let us worship our trash. Let's stop trying to throw it away. Recognize there is no away. And begin instead to honor it so that we may learn to use it, finally, wisely and well. In gratitude, I'd like to offer you this song by Mo Washburn that we can sing together. And I have to say, why do we sing? We sing because it's from time immemorial. Singing, dancing has been humans' way of showing gratitude to the abundance that the universe has provided. It's a way we connect with each other and all things in sacred space. So we'll do it as a call and response, and then join me harmonizing, riffing off any way you'd like. It goes like this. I believe that I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth. I believe that I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth. I believe I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth. I do believe that I belong to the earth. I belong. Now may my life be a song, and may my song feed the earth. I do believe that I belong. I do believe that I belong. I do believe. Thank you.